Well, I watched that fight this morning. Very pleasantly surprised by the outcome. Naoya Inoue is now a four-weight world champion. He took the WBC and WBO super bantamweight titles from Stephen Fulton, 8th round TKO. And this morning when I was asked my opinion on it, I was flip-flopping a little bit, and I thought perhaps, not for definite, but perhaps I thought maybe Fulton might be able to, if he could stick to his counter-punching game, that he could actually take that fight by potentially a decision if he could counter, Inoue, because Inoue is obviously a very aggressive, come-forward power puncher. And I thought, seeing Fulton's fights before, I thought, that'd be right up his alley to be able to counter. But Inoue cut the ring off, effective aggression, wonderful power punching. Everything he landed, even if it was only glancing or partially blocked, was pushing Fulton back on his heels. And I think what happened, as I was watching it, it kind of realised, after the first couple of rounds, it's like almost like Fulton realised, I don't want to take too many of them, because he fucking hits hard. So he didn't really let his hands go. He was frightened to engage almost, because everything he tried, Inoue was blasting him back and hurting him. I mean, he blooded his nose, and I think he was bleeding from the mouth at one point. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he had his moments. He had he landed a few punches, a counter right hands, a couple of left hooks and jabs, and it was working for him. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I actually saw it live, like I say. Usually I'm either in bed or at work, so I didn't get to see it. Don't usually get to see him live. But yeah, so it's funny though, I saw a lot of people moaning in the build-up to it though, that sort of moaning about Inoue, and he's terrible, and the hand wraps thing kept coming up, which I didn't really understand. But a lot of people were sort of moaning about the hand wraps controversy, and I found it all quite amusing, really. Like in the end, because what happened, it was just like, people. I don't usually sort of go for the whole pound for pound thing, because it's just very subjective, pointless argument, because everybody's got their own opinions on things. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. He's definitely in the conversation for Fighter of the Year, I think, just so far, just on that performance. I mean, you've got to take into consideration as well, Fulton had been out of the ring for a year. I mean, this fight had already been postponed from May, so yeah, no, it was a good scrap. Good old scrap, that was. And on the undercard, Robisi Ramirez defended his WBO featherweight title. Satoshi Shimizu, I mean, that was just him sort of showing off, really. He wasn't really in any threat, any danger. But no, I enjoyed that one. I'm just watching the dog. He's up to no good, as usual. But no, it was a good night's boxing. I don't know really what's next for Fulton, really. I don't know if he can come back from that. I mean, maybe move up, move down. I wouldn't bother with a rematch, because he was totally outclassed. He was totally outgunned. And a lot of people were moaning about the stoppage, though. The first knockdown in the 8th, he took that right hand, obviously his glove touched, and then he stood straight back up and then took a left hook. And I've seen a few, not many, but a few people moaning about that. Oh, it was an illegal punch and all that stuff. Look, it was in the heat of the moment. Stuff like that happens all the time. It's not unique to that fight. It's not dirty. It's not cheating. It's not corruption. I mean, he was being dominated and bashed up anyway. It was just a matter of time, really, in my opinion. So, but obviously next, I think the next route for Inoue is to take on Marlon Tapales, the Filipino who has the IBF and WBA titles. So that'd be for all the marbles, really. Again, I would favour Inoue to take that. And who knows, perhaps because he was on the undercard, perhaps down the road, maybe the plan is in the next year or so to move up to featherweight and fight Ramirez. You know, that'd be good. So yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole thing, really. Yeah, it was a good. It was good. It was good. I was very impressed with him. I mean, to me, he's fighter of the year so far. Between him and Teofimo Lopez, that performance against Josh Taylor a couple of months ago, it's between those two for fighter of the year, in my opinion. So yeah, not a lot, really much to say. Really, I'm absolutely shattered, as you can probably tell. I've got to go work in a bit. But no, I'm really, really impressed. Of course, we've got Crawford and Spence this weekend, so let's just hope that lives up to the hype. And yeah, so that's all out of me, really. I'm going to finish this smoke, take the dog for a walk, and go to work. Take care, folks. See you soon.